Hello YouTube, SentinalhMC here for my ReactorCraft tutorial, episode 9. So, I'm sorry for missing Tuesday. This video was really supposed to be made Tuesday, but I couldn't get around to it. Sorry about that, guys. But here what we have is, what I promised was, a side-by-side comparison of running a reactor on ammonia, using ammonia, compared to running it using water. So what I've built here are two identical reactors. If you'll remember this from a previous tutorial, it's the 6-core linear reactor that I showed you how to build in the fission reactor video. I got two of them. They're both hooked up to the same ME network to put the fuel in and pull the waste out, but they are completely separate reactors. In the version of ReactorCraft that is compatible with, is still in Monster, so we're talking version for 1.6.4 of Minecraft, which is no longer supported. Neutron Reflectors are essentially barriers. The neutrons can't get through. I think Reika said that he was planning on changing that to make things like concrete and steel blocks actually necessary in reactors again. So you may not be able to do this here without neutrons interfering in the future, but for right now this works. So you've got two identical reactors. They're not connected other than for fuel. Separate steam system, and most importantly, separate fluid systems for the steam boilers. So what we're looking at here is one reactor running with water, which we've seen before, and the other running on this, which is ammonia, which is what I showed you how to synthesize in the previous ReactorCraft tutorial. So we've got a whole bunch of ammonia, enough to fill this entire system and to fill this. I've just magic wanded this reservoir to get an infinite amount, but you would have to have enough ammonia to fill all the boilers, to fill the whole pipe that you're using. Preferably to also fill a reservoir, because this stuff gets converted into steam, and then you're going to have to use condensers to get it back. Don't do this. I'm just doing this for testing, getting rid of the steam, but don't do that if you're using ammonia, because you definitely want to get it back, because it's expensive and hard to make. Okay? And what we're going to look at here is the difference that it makes. So right here, we see that this reactor running on water can power 2 turbines, just like the other reactor, which is also powering 2 turbines. But if we look at the dynamometers, which you may have already done, you'll notice a very distinct difference. This dynamometer has the turbine running at roughly 14 to 15,000 Newton meters of torque to produce just under a megawatt of power. Alright? Essentially a megawatt. If you averaged it out over time, it would be just shy of a megawatt. However, this one is running at about 30,000 Newton meters of torque and producing about just under 2 gigawatts at the same speed. So what you can see here is that when running a turbine on ammonia, when I say that, I mean putting liquid ammonia into the boilers rather than liquid water. Your turbines run at double the torque, doubling their power output. That's pretty awesome. So if you've got a reactor set up, you don't actually have to make it bigger to increase your power output. What you could do instead is just change the working fluid. Now you do have to be careful with ammonia. It is a lot more dangerous than water. With ammonia, you have to be really careful about the temperature that you allow your boilers to get to, because if I'm not mistaken, ammonia will just, if an ammonia-filled boiler reaches, I believe, 400 degrees, but it could be lower, it could be 300, one of those, then the boiler will explode. It'll just blow up. And you generally do not want explosions to occur near active reactors, especially right next to the fuel cores. So you got to be really careful when you're using ammonia as the working fluid. You got to monitor your temperatures. I would not recommend setting up a nuclear reactor in a desert. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that anyway, but I really wouldn't recommend that and then running it on, trying to put ammonia in it. Not a good idea. Here, we are in a taiga biome, which is at minus 15 degrees ambient temperature, which helps to keep this reactor cool. And so the ammonia is much safer. This has been running for quite a while now, and I'm sure that it's perfectly stable. Oh, somebody likes me on Skype. That wasn't you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the benefit of using ammonia, is that you get twice as much torque, so twice as much power out of your turbines. Just remember that you do want to condense this. Now, even so, if you're not a fan of using the void trick here, you would probably already be condensing your water. But you didn't have to. You could just void it. But yeah, with ammonia, use a condenser. And I showed you how to do that already, so I'm not going to go over it again. With the condensers going into the pressurizer. I think you have to throw it in the pressurizer. Is there low pressure ammonia? There isn't, so maybe you don't have to do that. Maybe you just have to condense it. You have to do that with water, but maybe not ammonia. I don't know. So anyway, that's it, guys. Run your reactor using ammonia in your boilers for twice as much torque. Pretty awesome. Just remember, it's highly combustible if you're not careful. So that's basically it, guys, for this episode. Stay tuned for the future episodes. Next episode of the Let's Play coming out tomorrow. I'm really happy with the support that you guys are already giving it. The episodes are getting way more views than the Yogscast videos did, complete videos did. So thanks a lot. I mean, you guys recommended that Switch, and you haven't disappointed. You're really putting some support behind it, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you're giving my channel. We're nearing 2,000 subscribers. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, look forward to future videos. I'm really hoping to get a couple of new kind of videos out soon, but we'll see what I have time for. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode of the ReactorCraft / Word of Reika tutorials coming on Tuesday. I'm SentinalhMC, and I'm signing out.